where you guys were last was you were heading out in the van with Hera. You were still with Jean Marie, so you were currently out of the picture or busy or doing something. But the rest of you with Hera were heading out in the van after you've watched Sidney St. Clair die. Who's driving?
Usually it's
You're generally the wheelman, so okay, you're driving. All right, cool. Go ahead. What are you
I'm
gonna
just
do?
with Hera. Like, are you okay? I'm checking her to see if she's, been...
She seems a little shell-shocked. Not like she's quite realized what has happened. You get the feeling that she's been kind of brutalized by their attacks for a while.
Right.
Not sure exactly how long. But when you start asking her, what are you asking her exactly?
Well, how long ago was it that we first discovered? How long ago was that party? Like a week?
2 days ago. No,
Oh, just
2 days ago. Right. It has
seems
not
like
been
so
long.
much happened.
Right.
Like
I know,
longer.
right? Well, that's how it
Okay.
always is. Yes.
All right, so that's 2 days, but it was probably nonstop.
Speaking, did you come in your car?
He's not there.
He's
No,
not there.
he's not there.
Not there. Okay.
Because he flew.
His
Yeah,
car is at
yeah.
Tipitina's, and he's
At the
currently
hotel
at...
restaurant thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was about to say, because, like, I was sitting there trying to remember who all was there and who all was there. And everything.
Yeah.
I was like, you're doing something. Like, you weren't here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hanging out with the kingpin of New Orleans, actually. Who's quite fetching for a kingpin, and yeah.
He is quite fetching.
She is. Well, he... well, he knows now. But yeah. So, you're asking Hera what?
I'm just like, ask her how she's doing. I think I'm gonna try to soul gaze with her, just to make sure she's okay.
Okay. I'm not sure. Realize that soul gazing is a little traumatic.
Okay.
And if she's been traumatized, I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it, but it might be a little bit rough on her at this point.
All right, then I won't. I'll just
Okay.
talk to her and say.
Okay. She kind of looks a little dazed, and then you get the feeling that some of what you're saying kind of starts to sink in, and she turns and looks at you, and she just kind of looks at you and just goes and starts crying, and she just kind of leans in on you, and you can tell she's just really tired. You can see that she's kind of grimy. Remember, she's in her underwear.
Right.
They had taken away her clothes to kind of try and break her, and they were trying to get her to. She starts incoherently babbling about how they tried to get her to accept the coin, and she wouldn't take the coin, and she refused, and so then they started hurting her, and so she wouldn't take the coin, and she held out, and it was all she could do. She used everything that you taught her to keep them from hitting her with the fire and the darkness, and then she just kind of breaks down into sobs and just leans against you and just kind of pulls in, and she's kind of gently rocking back and forth like this. She seems pretty
I'm gonna take
upset.
off my trench coat and I'm gonna put it around.
Yeah, I mean, she has, like I said, she's in her underwear, so which is still traumatizing. So you put your trench coat around her, and she just leans into you and just kind of sobs. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm leaving.
We're all
You're
in the van
driving.
together, aren't
Okay.
we?
Yes. You're driving. You're riding.
I'm riding in.
You're riding.
I'm hanging on to life by a thread with 3rd-degree burns, so I'm gonna suggest going to the hospital. Oh, you have that?
No, he hasn't used any.
Oh, okay.
So-
Will that?
It reduces your.
What kind of wound do you have?
I have
Consequence, I should say.
I have a mild and a severe consequence. I am bruised and have 3rd-degree burns.
I believe we agreed that it shifts all of your consequences by one less.
Right.
So
And begins the healing process. Right.
Yeah.
Was it your worst consequence that you have would become a -4 instead of a -2? We could call that maybe instead of 3rd-degree burns, maybe just severely burned.
Okay.
But yeah, severely.
2nd degree? I mean,
Yeah, we could call it 2nd-degree burns, but I think I liked more along the lines of burned but covered in salve. Because it means that you're starting to heal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not gonna probably heal completely.
Oh, they will eventually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, no, that's true. You're not a wizard, so you may have some scarring. We'll see. Okay, I mean, they're
Now,
pretty bad.
My mild consequence, do I still have that?
Yeah, because the potion affects one consequence. That's what
Gotcha,
it is.
okay.
Yeah.
the aqua
Right.
form or whatever. it is.
So you're driving, all right? You hand her a potion over your shoulder. She takes it and drinks it, and the rest of you are you probably got the first aid kit. And,
This doesn't affect my stress boxes, though, right?
your stress boxes are still there for now because we're not quite to another scene yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because as you're driving, what happens is all of a sudden the windshield goes black.
Great.
Love that for us.
Yeah, and so the windshield goes black. You can't see.
I hit the brakes.
Yeah, you hit the right. Okay, you stop. You hear something land on top of the car, of the van.
I sure hope that's fault. Hey guys.
Okay, and at which point the windshield kind of clears a bit. And now, if I remember correctly, this was kind of evening. Yeah, so it should be around 6 or 7 o'clock. Probably the sun's setting. You hear something land on top of the van.
But
Go ahead.
when the windshield
Talk.
turns black,
Okay.
is that a spell?
You don't know. Just
Can I attempt to counterspell? Even thinking that it might be a spell.
Okay. Counter spell. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So with my sword,
Uh-huh.
I don't remember if I've used it 3 times or not.
You have used it twice.
Okay, so my sword, I can do a fantastic +6 counterspell.
To do that, you have to touch the spell, which would require you to literally shove it through the windshield. Now, I'll let you do that.
Shove the spell through the windshield?
The sword through the windshield.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, so you're gonna try and shove it through. I need a might check. Okay, because you're trying to shove it through a windshield. Now, that being said, I'll let you reconsider if you'd rather not do that.
Yeah, we better reconsider.
She might do it.
She might.
I'm at
See
a
what you did
0.
there. Yeah.
I'm at a 0. Have you seen me roll?
Oh, it's just
So-
straight dice. You don't have a negative modifier, right?
What do you mean?
Right, it's just a straight dice roll.
Because if you're at 0,
Yeah.
it's not going to count against you if you just want to roll on the dice.
Right.
And see,
You want to try it?
Okay.
Don't waste it if it's a
Well,
resource or something.
up to you. Up to you. She's going to try and shove the windshield through your van's, her sword through your van's windshield.
Oh,
Go
it's
ahead.
up to you. It is up to you.
I'll wait.
Okay. You hit the brakes. Okay. It's still very, very dark, and then you notice that the windshield kind of gets a little more translucently, like you can see, and you have heard something land on top of the van, and then there's a noise outside the van, and you see that the darkness starts to kind of seep in under the van's door.
Don't
So
like
you say that it's kind of sort of translucent now?
Right, like it's getting thinner. Almost like it's being spread out over the van more, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Right.
Then I start moving again.
Okay, you start moving again. You start to hit, go again, and the darkness kind of grabs the... I'm going to need you to make a might check for the van. The van has a might of 3, okay? It's reasonably strong. Ooh. Ooh.
Hey.
So 5?
Okay. You notice that the darkness is ripped away from it, and the darkness slips out from under the door. You do notice that the door kind of looked like something was trying to reach in and maybe get the unlock handle and open it, and then it's ripped away, and so you start barreling down the streets again. Again, you're driving. Anybody want to look around or see
I'm definitely
anything?
gonna check and
How many windows are in this van?
Well, there's 2 bubble windows because you gotta have bubble windows because
Yeah.
it's that kind of van.
And then
There's probably windows out the back.
like 2 small ones?
Well, the normal van type
Right,
door
that's
because the
what
back
windows.
opens up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
right.
Okay. You want to look out the back? All right. On the street, you see Nicodemus Archeleon standing there, and he's got these huge, shadowy wings behind him. And as the van pulls away, you see him kind of grimace and launch himself into the air again, and the wings spread out. So he looks like he's flying after you guys.
Did Lucky Charms
What was that?
give me something where I could summon him or tell them we need help?
Did who?
Lucky Charms.
Oh, the guy who showed up in my
The
port.
chalice? You don't have the chalice with
No,
you?
Elias
No, the
Dupree.
guy-
Elias Dupree.
Yeah, Elias Dupree.
Yeah, well, you can talk to him through the
little
chalice,
lucky-
remember?
Didn't he give me a pin or
Charms?
something?
He has a pin
That was
that, remember,
his,
if the pin gets
pack.
lost or
His
broken, it'll notify the
Oh,
counselor.
just lost or
Right.
broken.
That's
Okay.
Well, no, but you could reach up and go, I mean, it's up to you.
But he gave me another.
It's a little silver,
Hey,
staff.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So you snap the pin. And as you begin driving, I mean, you probably gunned it, and you notice he launches himself into the air. Are you going to do anything else? You're driving, so you're kind of busy.
Is he... Can I kind of track his trajectory? Is he going for the roof again?
Looks like it. Yes.
I'm gonna shoot at him then. I mean,
Okay. Go ahead. You going to lean out the window? Because that's to see him. He's kind of looks like he's above the van.
yeah,
So I mean, just saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
just like-
So you roll down the window and shoot at him.
Alright.
Okay,
Yeah.
make a roll.
Okay.
Can anybody breathe fire?
Green lightning.
Yeah.
That could be
Mm.
a good shot. That's 2 though, probably.
That's a 2.
Are you with? You're not with us yet.
Okay. Let me do his athletics check. He got a 4. So you and he kind of swoops out of the way with these big old huge nightmare looking wings. You just look like you had him kind of in your sights, but he's pretty nimble on these wings, is what it is. Anybody else?
Is he on the roof now?
No, he's flying above you.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've been trying to outfit this van with gear and stuff to
Right.
be ready. Is there a chance there's rope in here?
You want to give me a faint point knowledge at it?
I am out of fate points.
Then there's no room.
Okay. Next time there'll be
Can I
rope.
give you a fate point?
Why, yes, you can. So what happens is he says, you're looking for rope, and Darwin says, what are you looking for?
Rope.
Oh, that's up here. And he reaches, and there's a huge coil of rope, I guess probably around like the actual transmission, thingy there, because it's not a manual. And so he reaches up and tosses it over his shoulder, and it looks like it's probably about 30 or 40 feet of rope. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do?
I am...
It's what I do. I'm utility.
That's right.
I am creating a tether for myself so that I don't fall.
Okay.
Tying a rope around my waist, and then I am anchoring it to part of the seat.
Okay.
And I am opening the back doors of the van and leaning out.
Oh, how a little bit of healing has
All right.
made her strong.
Okay, so you do that, and in the meantime of you doing that, you kind of leaned out the window. You see Archeleon, Nicodemus, look down at you, and he kind of gets this grin, and he swoops towards the top of the van again, lands on top of the van, and then again the black wings sweep down, and you're just kind of covered in darkness. You can't see anything. Now, you lean out the back. The wings do not cover you. They cover the van, but you kind of leaned out, and there's kind of a little gap where you can do that. So what are you going to do? He's on top of the van now.
Okay, if I'm
just
going to just
imagining this.
grab onto
It's
the...
like you, like covered in burns, slapping aloe vera, just like
aloe vera. Just going to sort of hoist myself up a little and
Stabbing? Okay. Give me a weapons check.
come on, baby.
whip on.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
it's just straight up. Do I add my weapons bonus to this part?
I don't... You just weapons plus your dice roll. I don't think you get a weapons bonus for the spear, do
It's a
you?
+3 spear, but do I add that to
That's
the damage?
That's
Okay,
damage.
got you.
Yeah, got you.
All right, so this is a 5.
Okay.
Well, no, it's a 5. I don't think I get this bonus with the spear.
Yeah. Okay, so you stab at him, and it looks like you're about to hit him, probably gashing pretty good in his hip. And all of a sudden, one of those black shadowy wings kind of wraps around the spear and takes the hit for him. And you're just like, because he's cheating. He shouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, and so the shadow kind of, and it tatters and tears one of the wings, which kind of gives you the ability to see a little better because he has to defend himself. Are you still moving, or are you going to hit in the brakes? It's hard to see now.
What's your wipers?
Wait, you're leaning out the window, right?
Yeah, he's really out the window. Yeah, he's kind of. You can see him. He's covered literally.
Honestly,
the
I
wings
kind of
covered.
feel like windshield wipers would have came on at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you would have done that. You would have tried.
But,
Damn it, I can't see.
yeah, just,
And turn the radio down. That always helps.
yeah.
So you can see.
so question here.
Yeah.
Facts.
Immediate response would depend on how much more road I had going straight out.
You had a good bit.
Good bit?
Now it's bumpy road because
Bumpy road.
this area of New Orleans, the roads are not real smooth. But you've got a good bit of road straight ahead of you. You're kind of in the Garden District, and a lot of these roads, while they do curve gradually, are reasonably straight. Okay.
Then I feel like I probably would have been going straight for a little while longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so stupid, but if it persisted for longer than a couple seconds, I feel like my next action would have just been like do this little move a couple of times just to see.
Give me a roll. This
Is it driving?
This is a luck roll.
Luck.
Oh wait, do you have driving? I'll let
I
you
do
have
have
driving.
driving.
Roll. I like that even better.
But even with that would be 1.
Okay. So you start wobbling the wheel, trying to shake him off, and you actually hear him kind of go thump, thump, thump up there. And then all of a sudden there's a crash as the van seems like it's hit something.
Sorry.
The darkness disappears, okay? And you see Archeleon be flung forward off the front of the van. He does this kind of pirouette in the air thing and lands on top of a car. You've hit a parked car.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he lands on top of the car. The car's top goes crunch because he hits it that hard. And the wings just kind of go whoosh inside like that. And he leaps off the car and looks like he's coming around to the door again, okay?
Okay.
You can see him because he's going to be walking by the driver's side, and you can see him because now you can see everything. So yeah, and you're leaned out the back, and he's coming around this side. Right.
Back it up,
So-
Terry.
So, because I'm this kind of person, you were leaning out the back when you
Yeah.
made an immediate stop.
Yeah.
You probably are now back inside the van.
Probably over the seat.
I mean,
Up in the
again,
front seat
you didn't hit it probably
I
going
did
faster than
tie
maybe
myself to
15
the back
miles
seat,
an
Right.
hour.
so
I mean,
I
you
won't
were
look
not
like a
going.
projectile and
right.
take you guys out.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. You didn't hit it. You didn't hit it hard.
Well, you won't hurt us
you're
because you're covered in
probably
stuff.
the-
Just
the
slide
bumper-
Right past us.
The bumper's dented.
Just
The
off like a
front
bullet.
part of the van is probably fine because this is one of those
Yeah.
old vans, and so it has real metal bumpers, and so it probably went crunch. You're going to need a new bumper. Maybe have to make sure that the quarter panels are all straightened. But again, most of the van is metal, so it won't be hard to do. So all right, you're in the van now, kind of over the back seats.
We need to put more aloe vera on her so she can be super
Slippery.
super slippery, so he can't like.
She's got a lot on her.
I know. So he can't grab her.
All right, so what you
There's a
hear,
grease spell.
he walks around the van. Again, the shadows start sweeping up underneath the door.
Oh, which door is it?
Actually, I guess the passenger side is generally where the door is. So he
Yeah.
doesn't pass you. He's going to be walking past you, which you can lean out the window and empty it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Make me a roll.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Ooh, no.
No.
Well,
No. Yeah, that's this is nice.
Pow, 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 pow. You missed
I am,
about
yeah.
half. Yeah.
I mean, I'm. Oh,
Bella.
Now you had a 357, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Can you
okay,
make us a
you get
noise?
5 shots. Bam, 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 bam. Couple of them miss. The other 3 smack right into his shoulder, and he just kind of ignores them. And you remember that had happened before. You guys had stabbed him, and he just kind of ignored the damage. As you shoot him, and one hits him here, one hits him here. There's kind of a tiny spurt of blood, and it closes immensely. And he just kind of looks at you and rolls his eyes as he walks towards the door.
I'm gonna say, come with me, and I'm going to attempt to open a doorway to the Never Never.
Okay, so
And let us
Come with me if you want to live.
all right. I believe that's an evocation thing. So you need to make a. Let's see. The strength here is probably going to be about a 3, which means you have plenty of lore. What's your lore?
5.
Okay, so you have plenty of lore to do that. Now you just need to make a discipline check at probably about strength 3 or 4. Shouldn't be too bad. How long you want it to stay open? Just very quickly? You gonna pull
Just
everybody
long-
through?
Yeah.
You can pull the van through?
No, because how are you going
Yeah,
to drive
it'd
the
be kinda
van?
hard to do,
And I
yeah.
just can't imagine that. So
Never's kind of weird. So, yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say Sans van.
Okay, so you're just going to pull everybody through with you. So you're opening it within the van, so that when he opens it, yeah, okay, gotcha, cool.
Is that cool? Unless you want me to take the van with us. I mean,
You do you.
Whatever
I'm not
gets us
sure how
there.
you get the van
Yeah.
through without getting Archeleon.
and I
Yeah,
don't,
I
think,
understand.
I don't think the
Yeah.
van would be usable
I'm not sure.
anyway.
Driving a van through the Never Never might not be a bad thing. So there you go.
I mean, definitely bragging rights.
Yeah,
Correct.
Do you know anyone
I-
else who took a trip
What
down
would
van
take
through
you?
the
What
Never
would take you
You
in
know,
a van through the
we
Never
could-
Never?
We could take a van through the Never Never
I think
on a
it'd be-
Let's
vacation.
just do it like just on a random
No.
Sunday instead of
Yeah.
down
Yeah,
the
let's go around.
Okay.
We'll practice.
We'll play our
practice
There you
fair
go.
later.
There you
All
go.
right, we're gonna practice later.
All right, cool. So
Make it Never
strength
Never,
4.
that's
So you need what's your
That
discipline?
does not sound
5.
Okay, so make sure you at least get a 4. You should be able to do. Oh, that's a 3.
That's a 3.
Do you want to re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Or
I'm
do you
just
want to
gonna
add plus
add
2? Plus 2 would do it
I'm just
too.
gonna add 2.
Okay.
thing.
If y'all will grab that for me and toss it down this direction.
What?
What are you doing?
No, I like it whenever she shoots it and knocks over.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We've got some nice bourbon here. I'd prefer her not
There you
to
go.
knock over. No? Okay, that's fine. I'm just kidding. All right. Let's last my Basil Hayden dark rye. Anyway, so you start kind of gesturing, and you notice that there's kind of this bubble that appears, and then all of a sudden, reality, as you know, it splits. And you can see on the other side what looks like maybe a medieval city. There's kind of a castle up on a hill. Honest to God, medieval castle. You see what looks like people walking down the streets with carts and horses. Horses look a little weird. Some of them look like normal horses. Some of them have horns. Some of them have too many legs. A few of them have wings. And it looks like you're going to be coming out on a street in this weird-looking medieval city.
this is a good idea. I feel good about this.
Yeah, we're just gonna roll with it.
Okay.
All right. I have Hera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm carrying her. And
Okay, you
then-
grab her. Everybody else diving
and then-
through.
Yeah.
The shadow
Okay,
starts
turn my
sliding underneath the door. The door,
Well, she's on my
it reaches up and unlocks it, and then pulls the inside handle, and so the door slides open, and Archeleon goes, "Oh, my gosh, I have to keep chasing you." About the time you guys all start tumbling through this rift in
And as soon as
reality,
everybody's through, I'm.
you close it, and he takes a step forward right as you close the rift. Okay, so you're standing on this dirt street. There's lots of what look like medieval buildings. Most of them are thatched. A few of them actually have really stone roofs. They've got cobblestone in some of the nicer areas. Lots of people. Nobody bats an eye at you coming through a rift. Though when I say nobody, all the people here look different. There are people who look like elves. There are people who look like satyrs. There are people who look like minotaurs. There's centaurs. I mean, pretty much any kind of fey creature or creature from mythology you can think of. You see them walking down the streets, looking like this is just a common day occurrence where somebody stepped through a hole in reality and is now on the street. You hear the cries of people trying, sweet meats, buy sweet meats, 1 copper piece, blah blah blah. Best ale over here, 1 gold for a mug of ale, and you're like, a mug of ale for gold must be really good gold. And then I've got the best weapons in all the 7 realms, and so there's.
And all we have is paper money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna work. Well,
So-
you
Do
got
I
gold
have
somewhere.
cell phone service?
No. Okay, your cell phones does not work.
So we've gone into Never, running from the head honcho of the Silvernarians into a medieval-esque realm
Right.
filled with fey creatures.
Right.
Sounds like a job for the autumn night.
Ooh.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right. Remember, Swift is with you guys, I believe.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I
Do
thought
your
he was.
thing, honey.
He's with you guys. I think he's been there.
Oh yeah, he's
He
always
got really hurt.
He
didn't
doesn't leave him
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
I
No,
think-
yeah.
I think he did get pretty hurt.
Yeah, he's
honestly.
pretty hurt,
Yeah.
but he's still there. You notice, however, that you are no longer clad in your normal gear. You are now clad in what looks like a leaf cloak, a nice brown shirt that kind of has the little lacy things right here. You're wearing what looks like these kind of hose, black hose there, and you've got a belt that looks like it's made of woven vines, and
Like the
the
Minotaurs.
thing that you normally wear on your belt that becomes the spear has now become a full-fledged spear. It's big spear, kind of flames, kind of kicking around the edges, and so you're like, whoa, okay, so yeah, no glamours here. Yeah,
Hold on
Wow.
second. Is it just him?
just
The rest
him. No, just him.
I like the idea that this is what he actually
Looks
always
like-
looks
looks
like. Normal clothes is the glamour.
Exactly. This is
He
it.
just doesn't know it, and neither does anyone else.
Yeah.
And Swift is outfitted in this articulated,
What
what looks
the-
like plate mail. And it's covers here, and it's got, it's kind of got an open face. You can see on his back is this big ornate kind of bow that's got, looks like little sprigs of things growing out of it, and he's got a full quiver of arrows on his back. These huge cloth yard shafts. And he's actually wearing, like I said, complete full armor. He's got a shield on his arm, sword on his hip. And he's like, whoa, okay, so it looks like there's no glamours here. Not sure why there's no glamours at this point. The rest of you look normal.
Do phones can our phones take pictures in the Never Never?
Yeah, you're going to take a picture with your Nokia.
No, not me.
Good
I
luck.
don't know if their phones can take pictures. I can't remember when
Selfie.
we were.
Yeah.
What,
try?
what
Dude,
year?
Volt's gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
So you
I'm just saying. we
you
gotta
take a
do
picture.
this.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it seems to be working.
Everybody crowd in.
Though you do get this notification that it doesn't seem to upload to the cloud. So yeah, okay.
That's
All right.
okay. At least it's on the phone. We got proof.
So what do you want to do?
Proof of what bunk normally
It
looks
looks
like.
like-
Wait, he has this cool outfit. Do you perchance have gold in your pocket? I mean, you're the autumn
should.
knight. Wouldn't you have money?
The pouch, you do have a pouch, but it's empty. Swift, however, looks at you and says, Sir Autumn Knight, why are you checking your pouch?
See if I have any gold.
Oh, you have no need of gold, sir. I have all the gold that you will need. And he reaches down at his
Swift's
belt,
the man.
and he's got this cute little velvet pouch, and he reaches in, and he reaches in a handful of silver and gold pieces and copper. He says, I am supposed to take care of the needs of the Autumn Knight. Of course I will have money for the Autumn Knight's expenditures. And he puts it
So,
back in it.
You're rich in 2 dimensions.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, you get the feeling this is not rich. I mean,
Well, it is like,
if it's a gold for an ale, you're not going to be able to drink a whole lot on this, but you could probably, do
You're
something.
gonna be flush in meat pies.
Yeah.
For sure. And sweetmeats. Yeah.
That's what I
Do
meant
you
to
really
say.
want to eat the meat pies?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
It's
This
not
is
a
New
Sweeney Todd
Orleans,
area,
Sweeney
is it?
Todd. Well, the Never Never kind of takes on the characteristics of where you are.
This
So, I don't
doesn't
know.
look like a Sweeney Todd kind of area.
Yeah, it does not. It looks like a typical, very much Dungeons and Dragons medieval city with all kinds of
But I'm
creatures that
kind
are
of
like humanoids.
disappointed by the gold situation because I thought we could get outfits too and just.
I've eaten
I mean,
pub food
Do you want
before.
outfits?
In New Orleans, it can't be much worse than the food here.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
Swift looks at you and says, "Do you want outfits that would match ours?"
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
He says, "Well, I can take care of that." And he says, "Okay."
And Hera too.
And so he does his hands like this to do a glamour, and nothing happens. And he says, "Huh? Let me try again."
Oh, no glamours.
And he goes, "Huh? I guess glamours are not permitted in this city. Well, we
That's just
do
what-
need to find you appropriate garments, so perhaps we should do that."
That's
So in
just
this
what,
place, you see things as they are.
Right.
So we have to, but do we have to have appropriate garments, or are they gonna become?
Well, nobody really seems to be noticing you. I mean, you're kind of thinking, yeah, nobody seems to be really stressed out by the fact that you're
I
wearing,
just keep
modern
wondering how
clothes.
much
We just
horsepower
need-
a horse
we
with
need
multiple
to-
We just
legs
need
would
garments
have.
for Hera. She needs more clothing
That's
than a
more,
trench
right?
coat.
The traction
Yeah.
has to be amazing.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, you guys are a bit tired. It wouldn't hurt to maybe find an inn, bandage wounds, maybe get something nice to eat, maybe take an evening to rest, maybe find some clothes for Hera besides a trench coat. You know,
Roll
yeah.
my head dice.
So I say we should find somewhere that we can stay, get some
yeah.
food, and
You're standing
Whatever
there, and this
that-
little boy comes up to you and tugs on, the sleeve of your coat, of your Sure.
On your
And he's-
elbow.
Of your elbow. Yeah. Well, it's funny because you've got these long sleeves.
I'm
You're
seeing
being
poofs.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not poofy. They're just long. Okay. So, and he reaches out. He says, "Sir, I can lead you to the best inn in the city if you'd like." He's got horns,
Okay.
antlers. Let's go antlers.
Antlers.
I remember those days.
Children.
Not
Oh,
horns.
That was one of those
the
good.
best.
It's only a copper to get there.
All right, let's do it.
Swift reaches down, hands you the copper. The little boy takes off, and he's got like what looks like cloven hooves, kind of for his legs. This little boy is leading you to the best inn in the city. He takes off. You're following him. It takes you maybe 30 minutes to get to what looks like a pretty nice inn. It's in the upper part of the city, towards the castle, and there's a sign outside that has a goose, but it's painted kind of a yellow color. He says, "Golden Goose, best inn in the city, I promise you." Would you need any messages taken anywhere, or is there anything I can do for you?
Do we know anyone here?
You have no idea.
I'm pretty sure I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
I'll just take some pocket change that I have out
Okay.
because,
Oh,
and I'll
okay.
give it to him, and I'll be like, just make yourself available. In
You,
the
you have
next,
no
little while.
one, no one who needs a message. He looks at your change and his eyes light up. Okay, and he says, "You have no one who needs a message. This is a fortune, milady."
It's a couple of nickels.
Take some of it back.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Perhaps
The
someone in
exchange
this.
rate,
Perhaps someone needs
she's
a message.
So we have some somebody who can do some healing. Do we have?
Oh, a healer. I can definitely find you a healer.
Yeah.
There is a
Good
temple
call.
to the good Saint Cuthbert that I can make sure. One of the healers can be here. And he said, "All right, I'm off." And so he takes off, and you're kind of like, "What?" Yeah. So, and he takes off. The kid takes off. You go into the Golden Goose.
Yeah.
All right. Common room. Immediately when you walk in the door,
Couple of
the
nickels.
smell of what smells like meat cooking and vegetables. There's several people sitting around drinking from tankards. There's food on the table. Cute little redheaded girl walks up to you. She looks like she's maybe 12. Says, "Yes, can I get you a table?"
Yes, please.
Okay, so she leads you over to this table, seats you, and says, "What do we have to drink?"
Oh, something
What's
strong.
available?
Oh, we have wine, we have beer, we have Bloody Marys. We also have, with this really
Mulled
nice
cider?
brandy, we have water, we have lemonade, we have sweet tea, we have anything, just about anything you can ask for.
I'll just have an old fashioned.
Old fashioned, I was coming right up.
I'll just get water.
Water,
Yeah, just give me a beer.
beer,
I'll have a beer and she'll have a cider.
and you'll have, oh, no, sorry. And he says, she says, "That'll be 1 gold for the round." Swift reaches down, pulls out a gold, hands it to her. You sit down, and within a couple minutes, she comes thunk, 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 lazy. She's got old fashioned.
She said she had
She
one.
says, "Anything to eat for any of you? The chops are quite well, but we also have a very good venison stew."
Venison stew sounds good to me.
Stew?
I remember getting the stew. She says.
Dudes.
All right, that'll be a silver apiece. That'll be 5 silvers. Swift reaches into his pocket, pulls out a gold. She gives him 5 silvers back. He puts it in there and says, "All right, food around. You also get a plate of bread as well." And off she goes. You notice that there is a bartender behind the bar. He's a very heavy-set man with dark hair. He's polishing one of his tankards and puts it over there. And as he notices you're looking around, he kind of nods and tips like that to you. 5-10 minutes goes by and she comes out with a bunch of stew and a plate full of this dark bread. It's still warm. You cut into it and it's kind of steaming and it's got all this barley. If you ever had the bread at not Olive Garden,
McGuire.
no. Oh, McGuire's, that's a good one. Have you ever had the bread at McGuire's or ever had the bread at
Back?
Outback, thank you. Then this is that kind of bread that got those nice little pieces of barley in it, and it's all warm, and it's got butter that comes with it, and so you start eating. It's really the food itself just kind of immediately tamps your kind of stress level about 2 notches down. You've kind of been eating for a while, and a little redheaded girl comes over and says, "Will you be requiring a place to stay for the night?"
Holy shit, we couple.
Yes.
Private rooms or the common room?
How many people can fit into a private room?
Well, it's up to you. I have rooms for singles. I have rooms for doubles as well.
We could probably get
It's
2
your
double
room,
rooms and make it
yeah.
work with me and
Yeah.
Ian here.
Couple doubles.
Couple double rooms. Okay, there'll be a gold a night. And of course, Swift reaches in the pocket, pulls out some more gold coin. You know, I do notice he's kind of looking at the pouch, wondering how much he's got left. He hands her a gold and says, "Well, I'll get the rooms ready for you." Okay.
Hey Swift, what's the exchange rate in American money to never coin?
He looks at you and he says, "Well, the big difference is this is fairy gold, which means that it's been created by the Fae out of wishes and dreams and desire. What you're trading in is real coin, which is not from the Fae, and so it has a reality attached to it that the Fae can't make. We can make gold, we can make, glamours and stuff like that, but what you're trading is something that's real, which makes it incredibly valuable."
Did I make a mistake by just handing out change willy-nilly?
No,
Okay.
but you definitely handed out a lot of money to that young man.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I hope
he's...
that doesn't get him in trouble.
All right, let's start
Well, we'll
checking our
hope not to.
pockets. We can-
Yeah, if you find any pocket change or stuff like that, it's going to be worth probably quite a bit, because Swift says, again, fairy gold is kind of made by the Fae and attached to them in a certain way, but something that is brought from the real world and actually comes from the real world and is not attached to the Fae is I guess it has its own existence, and so it's really valuable. It'd be kind of like if you gave someone your trench coat, because it's not from the Never Never, that increases its value a lot.
Okay.
Anything you bring into the Never Never from the other world has a different existence tied to it, which makes it really, depending on what it is, really, really, really valuable. I mean, a weapon that's been brought into the Never Never from the real world could have some pretty weird capabilities. So you're kind of like, because it's got, and again, a truer existence than the Never Never does.
Right.
Yeah, same way,
Gotcha.
yeah. So anyway, few minutes goes by, you finish your stew, your bread, you're feeling quite happy and full. Hera seems to have calmed down quite a bit. And the little redheaded girl comes up to you and says, "Your rooms are ready. Would you like to be seeing them now?"
And we're probably pretty tired, yeah.
You are. She says, "Okay." So she takes you up the stairs. There's kind of a landing around there, and you notice there looks like about 6 or 7 doors around there. She takes you to the first 2 rooms. One of them, she says, "This is the room for the gents." And then she takes you to the next door and she says, "This is the room for the ladies." And you'll notice that there's a basin. We also, for a copper more, we can provide a bath for you. And of course, breakfast is included with the rooms. And so she hands you the key, and then she hands you the key to the room. You also notice there is a bar on the inside that you can put down as well. But there's a lock as well. And there's a chest. It looks like a little table with what looks like one of those washing basins. It's a bowl, basically, you put water in. There's a pitcher by it. And then there's a little desk, and there's a window. The window does not have bars on it, but that's pretty much how the rooms look. And there's 2 beds. So, yeah.
Does Swift sleep?
Do what?
Does Swift sleep?
He does.
Okay.
He does. He's a changeling, which means he's human but raised by Fae.
Gotcha.
So he's got a good bit of knowledge about the Fae, but he still gets tired as much
Before
as
we
anybody.
split up, we'll be like, we should probably, take shifts, take watch or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Swift says he's welcome to take. He would be happy to take the first watch because
Well, I'll have to do it for each room.
Yeah. Well, he can watch both rooms. I mean, he can literally sit between the 2 rooms and make sure.
I'll take the second watch.
Okay. Cool. So first, second, 2 hours each.
I'll do
take
the
one, yeah.
okay.
Third, fourth. Okay, cool. That should be enough because of 8 hours then. You head inside, kind of bed down for the evening, set up shifts of watches. Nothing untoward happens. You get the feeling that this is actually a really nice inn. About 4 hours into the evening, the little boy that you paid comes up the stairs and says, it's actually in your shift, and he says, "Mistress, healer from the Church of St. Cuthbert can't make it until the morning. He says he'll be here first thing.
Okay.
Okay, I will make sure he gets here.
All right.
Then he heads off. All right. Volt. Next morning, you wake up. You're kind of lolling around in bed. Clothes are scattered everywhere. Jean-Marie is not in bed with you, though. You're not sure where she went or where she's gone or anything like that, but you've had a very pleasant night. Slept actually pretty well. And so you're kind of lying in bed on these nice, 1,000 count sheets. So, yeah.
Egyptian
Okay.
gods.
Well, I guess I'm gonna grab my clothes, get dressed.
Yeah.
Walk around the apartment. Does anything stick out?
Well, you get dressed, come out this, and I mean, her bedroom is huge. There's a bathroom that's probably bigger than your bedroom in the warehouse. And it's got this cool shower with 14 heads that you can choose to program how they come on and, all these different temperatures. And so you kind of get dressed, are you going to head out to the rest of the apartment?
I guess like the living room area.
Yeah. You open the doors, head out to the living room area, and you can hear talking from the kitchen. And as you look that direction, you notice that Jean-Marie is standing in the kitchen and she's on her cell phone. She's got looks like a pot of coffee and a cup of coffee, and she's sipping on it. And she's talking to someone. Okay. Give me an alertness check.
You can do it.
Oh no.
That's a 1.
Okay. She's standing there and she's talking to someone, and as she turns and looks at you, and she kind of waves and then turns back to the phone, and she points to the coffee pot.
Okay.
But she's wearing like this kind of silk dressing gown, kind of hits mid-thigh. She still looks really pretty hot. And she's talking, and then as you walk over towards her, she kind of kisses you on the cheek and says, "I brewed a pot of coffee. I didn't know if you'd want anything else in it besides black coffee, so help yourself."
That works fine.
And so she goes back on the phone, and then she kind of leans towards you. She says, "The twins should be in about 15 minutes. I'll get them to cook us for some breakfast if you'd like."
Sure.
Okay, so she's back on the phone. You kind of sit down, pour yourself some coffee.
I'm actually gonna drink coffee and walk around and just look at stuff.
Yeah. You've been to the apartment before. She's got this, beautiful white leather couch area. She's got this chair that looks kind of like almost like a throne that sits with its back to the windows. The windows are open, sun's shining in. There's got the
Can I
balcony.
investigate the throne couch?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Well, there's a throne and there's the L-shaped or U-shaped couch.
Okay, the throne then.
Okay, go ahead.
What am I rolling? Just investigation? Is that a thing?
Probably investigation. Yeah.
I got a 2.
Okay. You walk over, kind of look at it. It's very nicely made, dark wood. It's got kind of a velvet back, velvet seat. Don't see anything really odd about it. You get the feeling that this is where she holds court when she's dealing with the other underlings in New Orleans.
Okay.
Wouldn't hurt to have a throne when you're dealing with the underworld. Let them know exactly who's in charge. A couple minutes goes by. You're kind of walking around, sipping your coffee. Do you want to step out onto the balcony and look around? Beautiful view. I mean, you're the river's in one direction from you, and you've got kind of the Mall of the Americas over to the left, and it's just incredible view. And then you
What
hear
time is it?
it's probably about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And so it's reasonably early. I mean, you're not terribly tired.
I don't get tired.
No, you don't. You really don't. And the two big doors open, and the blonde girl and the blonde boy that you remember seeing there before come in, and Jean-Marie turns towards them and she says, "Breakfast?" And she looks towards you and she says, "Anything in particular you want this morning?"
Steak and eggs.
Oh, okay, I can handle that. And so the little girl kind of nods, and they both head towards the kitchen. You notice the boy seems to be getting stuff out of the fridge, and the little girl is, getting things ready to go. They look like they're going to start cooking. And she finishes on the phone, clicks it off, puts it, into, I guess, probably one of the pockets of her robe, and then heads towards you. And she puts her arms around you and says, "Well, that was a very pleasant evening, much more pleasant than I realized. So, what are your plans for the day?"
Well, Probably need to check up on the crew, see how they're doing.
Mm.
Kind of left them at a weird spot.
Well, your friends, I understand. I don't want to keep you if you've got plans, but we definitely should get together again.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah,
Should.
me too. She kind of sits down at the table. You kind of probably talk small talk. Anything in particular you want to talk to her about?
I think we cover everything on the dinner
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'll just do small talk. I got.
Yeah, she refills your coffee mug a couple times, and you kind of chat
Snack
around.
for breakfast.
The breakfast comes out. She has steak and eggs as well. You have steak and eggs. Pretty well done. I'd say medium rare, and the twins obviously know how to cook. And maybe 30, 45 minutes goes by. You've kind of gotten
I'll check my
dressed.
phone, see if I have any messages or calls or anything.
I don't think you guys have called him at all yet. No messages or calls yet. And you're pretty ready to go. She says, "Well, I guess you're going to head out off of the balcony again."
How'd you know?
Well, I was just a little concerned that it's daytime.
I'm pretty stealthy.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a call, and we'll get together and do it again. I've got a few interesting places I can introduce you to in New Orleans. I think you'll enjoy.
All right, sounds great. And I lean in and kiss her on the cheek, and I stand up on the balcony, huh?
Give me one more alertness check.
Oh, 4.
As you lean in to kiss her, you notice that there's these weird kind of dark swirling marks on her cheek, and they kind of go down her neck, and you can kind of see that they're across her chest. What you can see, you almost think they're like faint tattoos that have either faded over time or something. It's really odd. You're not sure what it is. Do you have lore?
I mean, we've all got the skills a little bit.
Yeah. You make a lore check.
I got a +1 in lore.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, actually, that's not bad.
We'll see. Yeah. Well,
What did you get?
a -1.
No, you don't. Again, they're kind of these swirly marks that run, and it's interesting because they look like they run just about everywhere that you can see on her body.
Have I never noticed these before?
No, you're pretty sure she's never had these before. So this is something interesting, new, different.
Okay.
Okay, but you lean in and kiss her. You kind of notice them, and they're very faint. If you hadn't leaned in and kissed her on the cheek, you probably wouldn't have seen them.
I'm gonna actually say, oh, new tattoos, new ink.
And when you say that, she kind of does that, and she takes a step back, and she says, "Oh, not new, but definitely something I need to take care of."
Take care of.
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Do you say so?
Yeah.
I'll leave you to it.
Definitely give you a call in a couple days. We'll get back together, and I'll show you a few other sites around the town.
All right.
And
Sounds good.
Leap off the building.
Yeah, I do the thing where I, hands in pockets, put the shades on. I jump up effortlessly onto the balcony and just fall backwards.
Right.
And I spiral and go straight up so nobody sees me.
Okay, give me a stealth check. You do need one of those.
Stealth while you show
Mommy, a dragon!
Well, that's why I'm trying to shoot up so fast so I can get above
I'm
the
just
clouds.
imagining like Johnny Storm. I'm stealthy.
Yeah. What'd you get?
I got a 2.
Okay. You fly straight up, so hoping to stay out of sight of anybody who sees you, maybe.
Plus
So
2's pretty good.
you're heading back to Tipitina's to get your car?
Paper, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Mm.
yeah, I guess, is Tipitina's close to, like, the water?
Well, it's in the Garden District, which means it's docks adjacent.
How far a walk would it be from the closest, like, docks or water area?
Good bit. Probably 10 blocks.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I want to go out into the middle
Mhm.
of, I guess, the closest bay and just go into the water.
Okay.
And then I'll just swim, and then revert back to, like, a
Yeah, you can do that.
reasonable presence and
Okay.
catch, like, a taxi or
Okay.
something.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. It takes you probably about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes.
Just
to
imagine you're like sopping wet,
Yeah.
just like on there. It's like
Let's run to
taxi.
get
I just come walking out of the bay, better than a dragon flying overhead, and landing at the car.
Actually, it's raining, so it doesn't matter.
Even
It totally
better.
makes sense that Roll 2 pluses. I'll give you a bonus on that. Sure.
Sweet.
It's raining, so you get out of the bay. It's raining on you. It's a little overcast. Doesn't look too weird that you're sopping wet to when you call a taxi. Head back to Tipitina's. Grab your car. Back to the warehouse.
Yeah, I'll go back to the warehouse.
Okay.
I guess I'll probably mosey around and do, look at blueprints, look at plans, maybe go to the other warehouse too.
Right.
Kind of like peek in and write up ideas.
Now you had called about it, right? The warehouse. Had you gotten a reply yet? I can't remember.
I don't think we got a reply because
Okay.
it was all it was called the warehouse,
Yeah.
do the shindig thing, and then
Right.
went to.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't got a call back yet, but you definitely are kind of waiting for it. You kind of go to the warehouse. You can climb the fence pretty easily. Probably, snap one of the locks pretty easily as well and look around. Big, open, empty building, kind of rusty. There is a loading dock on the back where it would be easier to bring trucks in. But other than that, just, again, very big. This one doesn't even have an office area. It is literally a warehouse. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. So it just looks like a kind of a normal warehouse.
Yeah, literally big box.
Okay. I'll feel pretty. I guess I'm not satisfied. Go back to my place. Probably just do generic things around the warehouse until it's about 10,
Mm-hmm.
and then give the squad Miranda a call.
Okay.
I can't want to say Romanda.
Oh, Rumanda, even better. Yeah. Okay, so around 7 o'clock, who had last watch? I believe that was you. Okay. Around 8 o'clock rolls around. This gentleman in a white robe carrying this staff with what looks like a Celtic cross on the end of it comes up the stairs. And he sees you and says, "I'm looking for the group that called for a healer."
Oh, yeah, that's us.
Yes. Is your group ready for me to see them?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
We'll knock on their door and
Door knock.
Give
You guys are probably kind of
knock.
You guys are probably kind of awake, rolling around, maybe considering breakfast. Yeah, it's pretty early. It's about 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a knock on your door.
Okay, I will just open the door.
Yeah.
Slathered in
at,
whatever.
at which point that you see a gentleman. He's in a
Looking
white
like
cloak.
Two-Face.
Yeah, carrying a staff, and he says, "I see why you called for a healer."
Oh, it's not for me. I'm kidding. It is for me also, but
Yeah, well, Swift could use one too. He's kind of hurt.
Yes.
And he says, "Well, then come in and sit down, please, on the bed, and I will take a look at you." And so he pulls his hood back, and he's got whiskers and cat ears, and you notice that he's kind of almost like a white tiger is what you're seeing.
Oh.
But he's not real bulked up or anything. You're thinking more like, kind of a... Anyway, he walks up and he kind of looks at you and he looks at the burns and he says, I might be able to help you with that. And so you notice he reaches down into a bag that he's carrying and he starts digging through it, lays it out on the bed, opens it up, and there's all kinds of these herbs and looks like vials with different colored liquids, and he says, And so he grabs this one that's blue, and he grabs this little packet of herbs, and he pours it in there, and he shakes it up. And he puts his hand around it, kind of closes his eyes, and you notice that there's kind of a glow of light between his hands. And he opens his hands, and this liquid is kind of a bluish color, but it's really thick. And he says, "Here, put this on your burns."
Okay, so I see that I take it, but I see that he has a Celtic cross on his staff.
Yes.
And remembering that the kid said something about St. Cuthbert,
Mhm.
Can I do like a religion or some sort of check to see if I
Yes.
know who this
You're going to need to make a lore check.
lore check? Got it. That evens out to a 0.
Yeah, you don't recognize Cuthbert. You're not sure who that
Okay.
is. He's not. Okay, he's not a Catholic saint in the Catholic Church. How about that? So, but other than that, you don't know.
Gotcha.
So he says, "Here, put this on your wounds, okay, or your burns." And so he kind of takes the stopper off, takes a white cloth and puts it on there, and you put it on. Immediately, the burning sensation goes away. And you're like, wow, this is just like really, really cool. It feels like, if you've ever had that cooling gel that you put on burn, this feels like this.
Aloe vera.
Yeah, well, no, it's not aloe vera. This is like really the cooling gel you put on there when you've like got a sunburn or you've gotten a burn or something like that.
Blue stuff.
Yeah, the blue stuff. That's interesting. It's blue stuff. Yeah, who knows? And so you put it on there and it immediately cools down. You feel a lot better. And there's also kind of like a little tingling sensation that goes with it. And so you're like,
menthol vibe.
yeah. Exactly, blue stuff with menthol. Well, so that being said, you're definitely continuing healing, but it doesn't change anything. So, anybody else who's really hurt? Swift?
Swift.
All right. The guy comes over and looks at Swift. Swift's got quite a few cuts on him and scratches, and he kind of looks at Swift's wounds after Swift takes off this armor. And he sees some of them are kind of deep. You notice he puts kind of bandages around him. Looks like there's some kind of salve he puts on them. And then he says, "Yes, I believe this will make sure that the infection does not continue to spread, and it should even combat it. And make sure you keep these bandages clean." And so Swift says, "Sure, I'll do that." So he puts all the bandages on and stuff like that. We're in a new scene, so remember that all of your stress boxes are gone.
All right.
Yeah, you too. You are in a new scene. You're right. No, you're correct.
No, just kidding. Because
you may have got a couple stress boxes. Maybe not from combat, but a couple stress boxes anyway.
We don't recover our fate points though until the next game.
No, not yet. That'll be at the end of this session, probably.
Well, the Autumn Knight has plenty of fate points for us. Darwin has plenty of fate points for us.
You are all feeling a good bit better because you've had a chance to kind of bind your wounds. You've also had a good meal, and actually a good night's rest. Probably one of the best in a while.
And is Hera feeling better with her clothing too?
You did not get any clothing for her yet.
Oh, no? Okay, I thought...
No, you haven't had a chance to. Yeah.
Okay.
You head downstairs. She's still wearing her trench coat. And when you head downstairs, you see a young boy. He looks like he's about 8 years old, got dark hair. And he says, did you like your breakfasts?
Yes.
He says, well, please have a seat. You come down. He brings, some, looks like some sausages and some fresh bread. And he also brings you some fruit, and then takes your order for drinks and sets them down there. And so then quickly heads off. Nobody else is in the common room. You guys are the first ones down there. You do hear what sounds like the beginning to a day beginning outside. A few people walking down the street, some bells ringing, maybe a few hawkers that are trying to sell their wares. It's much quieter than when you first got there, though. So it looks like it's the beginning of the day. Right. Okay. Finish your breakfast. Okay. What next?
I'm going to reach in my pocket for change.
Yeah, you got a little bit.
And I'm going to say...
What are you going to say?
Are you looking for some clothes for
I
Hera?
forgot his name.
Who?
Bunk?
Bunk?
Bunk.
Swift?
Swift?
Swift. All I could think was Flint. I don't know why.
I was so confused. Like, I reach in, I grab my change, and I say...
That's why I have no clue.
I was really lost. Yeah.
She
We
said
didn't plan
that.
this out. Yeah.
I was like, Swift. Can any of this buy something for Hera to wear?
I've got plenty of money for Hera. Keep your money. We may need that in the future.
Okay.
Your money is worth much more than mine is.
All right. So I need her to have enough. I think she'll feel it
I'm sure
better
she would.
if she has a clothing.
He leans. He kind of walks over and he kneels down in front of Hera and talks to her and he says, "Okay, we need to find someone who's a tailor around here. Do you see the little boy that you hired earlier?"
Told
No, you
him to
don't.
make himself available, but I think he made
Look
himself
outside.
scarce.
He's actually outside the front door. He's waiting outside the front door, and he sees you look outside. And he goes, "Oh yes, mistress. Is there anything else you require?"
Could you show us to a tailor?
"I know the finest tailor in the city. Let me show you." And so he says, "Are you ready to go now?"
Are we ready to go now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head out the street. This street's kind of wide, and he takes you again closer up the hill towards the castle, takes you down a little side street, though when I say little side street, it's still pretty wide, well lit. It's early. A lot of the shops are not open yet, but he takes you to a shop that has a sign sitting out front that's got a golden pair of scissors and a golden needle crossed. And the door's closed, and he walks up and he knocks on the door. You don't hear anything. And knocks a little louder. And finally you hear some noise from inside. The door opens, and there's this elderly gentleman, gray beard. He's got one monocle on, and he's got grayish hair. Most of it's missing from the top of his head. And he says, "What do you want, you scamp?" And he says, "Master, I have some people who are in need of your services, especially for the young lady who is wearing the oversized coat." And he goes, "Oh, God, it's early. Come in, come in, come in." And so the door swings open, and immediately what hits you in the face is the smell of coffee. And so the little boy kind of steps to the side of the door. You step inside. There's cloth in bolts everywhere. Silk, cotton, hemp, all kinds of things. There's just threads on little racks everywhere. And he says, "Come in, come in, come in. Would you like something to drink? I haven't had my coffee yet, and I'm not talking to you until I have my coffee."
I'll have a coffee.
Coffee for you. Anyone else?
Coffee.
It says, he says, "Mildred, coffee's for everyone." And this elderly lady comes out, and she kind of comes toddling out there and says, "Don't you yell at me about coffees for everyone." And he says, "Oh, just get the coffees." And she goes. And so she walks around, she steps into the back. A few minutes later, she comes out with a bunch of mismatched cups. And then she has a pot with her, and she pours coffee in there and hands each of you a cup. And then she heads towards the back. And he says, "So, let's enjoy our coffee for a minute, in silence, if you wouldn't mind." And he starts drinking his coffee. It's actually really good coffee. So a few minutes goes by, and he finishes the cup, sets it on the table, and he says, "Now, what are we looking for?"
Clothes for this young lady.
This young lady. Okay. Well, miss, would you mind standing up? That. Oh, and he realizes she's not wearing anything but underwear underneath the coat. And he says, "Miss, I'm going to need to take some measurements of you. I hope you don't mind." And Hera kind of looks at him and looks at him kind of askance and says, she looks at you, and you do what?
I can measure her.
And he kind of looks at you and says, "If the clothes don't fit, don't blame me."
Well, do you have a lady who might work with you that would be willing to do it?
My wife can't see well enough to measure anymore.
Then I guess I will do it.
Fine. He reaches out and hands you a piece of rope.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Make the measurements." Okay. And he says, "I need you to measure here. And I need you to measure here and here." And he starts telling you, "I need you to make a craftsmanship roll."
This is going to be amazing.
That's all gonna.
For her first
If
all
only
Can
I
I-
had a craft roll.
one.
Can I get Darwin to examine this rope for me
There it is.
before?
Oh, you
I
mean
do it?
examine your measurements before you turn them in? Or what? Examine the rope?
Yeah, so I understand how it works.
It's a piece of rope.
But there's no markings on it. That's what I'm
Correct.
asking.
No, it's a
Okay.
piece of rope.
All right, Darwin.
I think just
Here's a rope. Measure.
All
Yeah.
right, Darwin, you ready?
Sure.
I need you to help me with this.
You get a +1.
So,
You get a
yeah.
+1 because he's
Okay.
helping. He's assisting.
is that it? A +1?
That's all you get. That's how it always
You
is.
should give me a +4 because he's like a master.
No,
craftsman.
you're the one. No, if he could get a plus probably 6 if he was doing it.
How big is Hera compared to me?
Pretty small.
Oh,
okay.
She's probably like 12. She's kind of thin and very waifish.
I
Yes.
got a +1, so what's that, 2?
All right, so you're taking your +2. You're taking measurements and stuff like that, and you're kind of relaying them to the guy, and he kind of okay, hold on, and he says he steps into the back, and he looks at at Hera, and he goes, "So, young lady, dress, pants. What are we looking here?" And Hera says, "I hate dresses," and he goes, "Good. Any particular color you like?" And she says, "Well, I kind of really like black." And he says, "Is there another color you like?" And she says, purple? He says, just the thing. So he steps into the back, and he's gone. You know, his wife toddles out, pours you another cup of coffee. You're kind of sitting there sipping. Hera's kind of looking around and looking at some of the cloth, and probably all of you are kind of looking at the cloth. And he comes out, and he's got this bundle of clothes, and he says, "Here, you can step over there to the dressing room to try these on." And he hands her these clothes, and she kind of steps over to the dressing room, and she comes out in a few minutes. She's got this purple silk shirt, and it's sleeveless, and but so it leaves her arms free. And then, she's got these black pair of pants on, and they're just this dark, kind of looks like a hemp material, but it's black. And she's got these, what looks like black boots that go with it. So it's purple and black. And she says, "Ooh, this is pretty. I like this. And it's so soft." And he says, "Well, it's silk. Of course it's soft. I hope it meets with your requirements." And she says, "Oh, this is nice." And she looks at you and says, "We can keep it."
You can keep it.
And he says, "Well, okay." She wasn't so hard to cut things for. It's going to be 5 silver.
Swift.
Okay. Swift reaches into his pocket,
I'm
hands
not
the
going to
guy,
haul any more money out after I got
hands 5 silver to him, and he says, "Well, if you need anything else, would the young lady be requiring a weapon to carry, or maybe a belt, or something like that?"
Weapon, no. Do you want a belt?
She goes, "Yeah, kind of like a weapon too." What are we talking about?
Okay.
You see what happened to us?
And what?
I can
He
give her
says-
She's always done mental stuff, so
Well,
I'm not sure
so-
she even knows
so
how to use a weapon.
The tailor looks at her and says,
So she
Well-
can learn.
"Hold on. I have a friend who's a couple doors down. It's Dietrich, the leather worker. He can definitely hook her up with a belt, and I'm pretty sure he would have a scabbard for maybe a dagger or something along those lines. I assume you'd want a dagger, young lady." And she looks at the guy and says, "No, I want a sword." And he says, Dietrich doesn't deal in swords. You'll need a weapon master. But if you talk to Dietrich, I'm sure he knows someone."
I think she's seen us with swords so often she must want
Yeah,
to.
who's her teacher walking around with a sword, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, he says, "Well, pleasure doing business with you. You gun, right? That seems the way to go."
Yeah, you stand back far away.
Yeah.
And
So you go a couple doors down, and there's a leather worker who looks like he has a picture of a goat on a sign. The little boy's with you, knocks on the door. Door opens immediately. There's a very skinny gentleman with dark hair. He looks very different from the guy who was the tailor. And he says, "What can I get you?" And opens the door, kind of pulls it back. A little bell rings as he does, and there's a bunch of cabinets and display cases of all kinds of leather goods. There's scabbards, there's belts, boots, gloves, pretty much anything you could be looking for. You can see on the wall that there's some leather armor hanging up. So yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna approach is Hera with us still, or
Yo, she's still with you.
Okay.
Yes.
We're like, we need a belt for her that's also doubles for
A sword?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking something like this, and I'm gonna pull out the katana that
Oh right.
Gabriel Beaumont gave me and be like, I'm gonna look at her and say, "This is on loan till we get you your own, but we need something that she can carry this around."
Yeah. So he walks over and he kind of looks in the display cases and he kind of looks at the katana and says, "Okay." And he pulls out this thin black belt and takes it and kind of ties it around the katana a little bit. It's actually got a holder that kind of slides onto it. And then he looks at her waist and says, "Here," hands it to her. And she kind of straps it around her waist and says, "Ooh, that fits really nice. It's this kind of nice, supple leather." And he says, "That'll be 1 silver." Swift reaches in, hands him the silver, and says, "Okay, well, good." So, yeah, she's got the katana from Gabriel Beaumont. Right. All right. So you step back onto the street. She has clothes now, and a sword and a scabbard. So
And
what do
more
you
of a
do?
pep to her step now.
Yeah, a little bit more pep in her step. Yeah. So
All
what are
right,
you doing now?
guys. So we need to get back to the other side.
well, do you think we might have some? Do you think there's any information about this dude?
That we could gather while we're here.
Here?
Yeah.
Archeleon?
Yeah.
Well, you do know that Archeleon tends to make himself, what you know, that about every 400 or 500 years he breaks into the Vatican and burns up all the records of him. But you don't know about the Never Never. You're not sure.
Okay. Well, we can
Yeah,
ask
so,
our.
is
we
there
could ask
something
our
like
page
a
boy.
a library or some?
What's that kid's name with the cloven hooves?
He hasn't given you a name yet.
Well, hey,
Hey y'all.
Yes.
kid, what's your name?
Hasey.
Hasey. Hasey. Where would we go if we wanted to find? Is there a library or a place of?
Oh yeah, there's a library.
Conservatory.
It's near the Temple of Thoth. I can lead you there.
That sounds good.
Good.
Great.
Do we know anything about Thoth?
Egyptian god of,
lore check.
Oh,
Maybe not. You don't know anything about Thoth. Ooh, well.
That's 4 for me.
Okay.
3 for me.
3, 4, and what'd you get, Jody? Lore check.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Nick,
4.
1.
Okay. Egyptian goddess of wisdom and intelligence and magic. So yes, you're right.
okay, nice.
Okay. The boy takes you, looks like kind of down the hill towards the west. You travel, again, more cobblestone streets. You notice that the city is beginning to become a little more alive now. You don't see any carts in these streets. You figure you're in kind of a little nicer part of the town. And you head towards what looks like there's an area of the city that has a lot of stone buildings. A lot of them look like they're made of granite, limestone, things like that. Several of them have domes. You're figuring it's an area of the city where there's a lot of temples.
Where there's a lot of dwarves.
Yes, a lot of dwarves, exactly. Well, actually, you have seen quite a few dwarves around, and none of them are singing "Hi Ho."
Oh,
Okay.
unfortunate.
Yeah, well, yeah.
None of them have air conditioners.
This is
I was
that's
just
right.
thinking.
You know the dwarves with the air conditioners. He maybe takes about 30, 45 minutes to get down the hill, and there's this huge building with a bunch of columns all around it, big dome in the middle, and he leads you up to the front steps and to the front door. This big, arched doorway, probably 20 feet in height, with wooden doors that are open. And he says, "That's the Library of Thoth."
Fair enough.
Cool. Okay.
Step inside.
Yes.
Walk this way. Sorry. You step inside. There is a.
You left the van.
I tell you what. This looks exactly. If the New Orleans Library had been built 2,000 years ago, you're figuring this is what it would look like, because there's a big, desk, table, and there's a couple young people standing behind it, and they're all wearing togas, interestingly enough, and you walk up to the reception desk.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Quick side question.
Yeah.
We've been traipsing around this Never Never city for a little bit.
Mhm.
Is it kind of seeming like it's like laid out similarly to New Orleans with landmarks resembling?
Exactly.
New Orleans?
You there's definitely a lot of synchronicity going on,
Okay.
because you're thinking, I could probably figure out where the Superdome would be. There wouldn't be a Superdome, but there
So-
might be a gladiatorial
We could-
Coliseum. Right. You're getting a real
So-
distinct feeling.
We could pick our exit point,
Right.
basically.
So is there
Alright.
like a certain place where we go that there's just a whole bunch of cat people holding a mass? or
No,
something?
actually not.
Oh.
Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Jackson
thinking we should
Square.
find
Well,
Lucky
actually, you
Star.
figure you are probably somewhere nearby Jackson Square because you're
Gotcha.
near the Temple District. Right.
So we'll go up to the circulation desk.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And how do we what would we do to
The drunken sailor?
yes.
Putting in a
What do we
longboat
do
till he's sober. That's the way it works. Okay.
For a Klondike bar?
Yes. All of these are good questions. Also, we don't know how to go about doing research in this sort of
Well,
establishment.
and so the young man who's behind there, blonde-headed guy, wearing glasses, he looks at you and says, "Well, what are you attempting to research?"
We're looking into these demons known as the Black Entenarians.
You see that his eyes get really, the Black Entenarians. We haven't had really a Black Entenarian in the Never Never in, and he says, probably 1,500 years? It's been a while. Most of them stay to their own realms.
Yeah, we have one in particular who sort of destroys all of the info on him in our realm.
Nicodemus Archeleon, yes.
Yeah. Oh, so do you have anything on
No,
him?
not a bit. Yeah. No, he's he actually.
How to think it's his weaknesses.
Yeah.
How to kill.
Well, I do. Okay, I do have a very small book on him. It's not terribly useful. I can show you where it is. It's quite old though, so I am gonna have to ask you to be careful that you don't damage it.
I'll wear the gloves or whatever you guys do here.
Well, yes, actually, that's what we need you to do.
Oh, okay.
And so he actually reaches behind the desk and he hands you this, looks like a set of velvet gloves, and he hands them to you, and he says, the rest of you are not allowed to touch the book.
That's fine.
On pain of
I'll
death.
have the special gloves.
Yes.
On
So on pain of death. Yes. So he walks down the hallway and takes you up these stairs. I caught that. He takes you up these stairs into what looks like kind of the top of the dome after a while. And you notice that as you move further up the dome, the books seem to get a little more ragged and possibly older. Very, very top of the dome, you see there's like these 4 little windows that are looking out. And you kind of look out the windows and see the city as it stretches out. It's huge. It's a big, big city.
Wow.
And he says, yes, some of our oldest books and rarest books are kept up here. Hold on one second. And he kind of starts looking along the shelves, and he pulls out this little thin book that's bound, and he says, yeah, this is what we have. It's been copied several times. I can't make sure that it's actually still true. Sometimes there are calculations or errors creep in, or intentionally people change things, but yes, you're welcome to use it at the table over there. And so he hands you this little thin book. It's interesting because the binding on it looks kind of like the cheap bindings that you normally see on books once you've taken the cover off of them, the paper cover off of them, and it's got kind of this gold leaf in it, and it says Histories of Blackened Denarians.
Okay.
I was thinking like Nicodemus, rantings, ravings, proof of concept.
There you go. Right? Yeah, that's exactly it.
So I'm just going to very, very carefully read over it as thoroughly as possible, and also I'd like to. Oh.
Not a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, the guy's left. He went downstairs. So you pull it out. You start leafing through it. A lot of the pages are pretty heavily damaged. You get the feeling that the binding that they put on it was not the original one, but it's, several of the pages look like they're stained, water damage, burn damage, other liquid damage. You really don't want to conjecture. A lot of it is almost illegible. But you do get to the point where one of the last entries is Nicodemus Archeleon. And it says, Nicodemus Archeleon, originally mentioned in the Judeo-Christian Bible. You're like, who? Mentioned as being a Pharisee in the ancient Jewish church. And then there's an area that's kind of hard to read, and says left the Roman Empire, accepted the coin of, I cannot remember the name of, hold on. Oh, he says accepted the coin of, oh my gosh. Anduriel. Known to have command over shadows, can summon them, use them for his own means, can fly, first-rate swordsman, and seems to have a symbiotic relationship with the demon Anduriel.
So Anduriel is one of the fallen angels.
Yeah, as far as you can tell.
Interesting. And so did I know that Nicodemus Archeleon was the Nicodemus of the Bible?
No, you
Prior
had
to this?
no
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
All right. I will just, in addition to that information, investigate the pages for hidden symbols or
Give me an investigation check. Yeah.
inscriptions. Ooh, I have a +3, so that's a 1.
You don't see anything really other than that seems to be useful in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will take pictures.
You gonna show the pictures to the rest of the group?
Uh,
They're not allowed to touch the book.
yeah, I will. But not in front of Della because I don't want my phone to fritz out.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. In fact, interestingly enough, if you guys ever get near the book and try and touch it, your hands pass through it. It seems to be only when you have the special gloves that you can actually even touch the book, interestingly.
Fair enough, because honestly, I was sitting there and at one point I was like, that'd be funny. And I was they're like, ooh. But then at the same time, I was like, hold on, under pain of death.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to do this.
Because then I was like, how'd they know?
Because you'd be
Would
dead.
touching the book cause death?
Yeah, might.
Right.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like,
No, it's funny because as your hands get closer to the book, it becomes more translucent and you can't even see it. And so, again, you kind of get your hand close to it and you're like, I'm not sure I can even touch that. And I'm not sure I really want to. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
When I take the pictures of the book, does it take pictures of the book?
Yeah, actually it does. Pretty easily. Yeah.
All right.
Now, you're not going to be able to take pictures of all the pages, but definitely the pages.
I'll just
regarding
mostly the
it,
ones
yeah.
of Archeleon in the
Right.
cover, and if I see any interesting symbols
Pictures
that
and
I
stuff like
can't
that,
maybe make out or images, yeah.
Yeah.
And then 12 years later, we can flood the internet with those images.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not a bad thing. So you put the book up, put it back in the shelf, start heading back downstairs. The young man that you saw meets you about halfway up, and he goes, "Yes, I assume that you found what you needed."
I found something,
Yeah.
so
Well, I will definitely need the gloves back.
For sure.
And he takes them back, and he says, "Okay, well, thank you. We do expect, since this, the Library of Thoth is actually a kind of a part of the worship of the goddess Thoth. We do expect a donation."
do I have those, I don't know if they did this back then. You remember those tokens that you used to collect to ride the trolley? That's like you would put money, you'd get tokens.
Yeah, I don't think they do that
Okay.
nowadays. Yeah, not for streetcars, no. You still got a little change left if
I'll
you
give them
want.
some pocket change. I just didn't know
What are
if
you
I
gonna give
wanted to.
A couple pennies, couple nickels, a dime, a quarter.
I'll give them a 1 quarter.
He kind of reaches out and picks it, and his eyes kind of get big and goes, "Oh, this is quite a generous donation. Thank you, milady. If is there anything else I can do to help you, please let me know."
If you get any more information about this, pass it on to my associate.
Hayseed? Yes.
Yeah.
I will be sure to do that.
Forever back in the Never Never.
yeah, right.
I can hit him up.
I'll be sure to do that. It takes you a few minutes to get back down to the bottom floor, and you're kind of heading out the door. Hayseed's standing there. What do you want to do now?
I'm gonna try to find an exit point and get out of here, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
can open one wherever you want.
Just need to make sure wherever we go, we're gonna be safe.
So let's go find.
Do it at the end of an alleyway, for all that matter.
Yeah, but I'm thinking
Like a strategic exit
a
point.
strategic exit point somewhere that's near one of our houses. Maybe like either where she lives or
Okay.
where I live or where Bunk lives might be best.
Okay.
Or maybe where Volt lives because we
He
haven't
could
seen
be
Volt
in trouble.
For a
He was
while.
by himself while we were at.
Right. I mean,
So you're going to head towards the docks area.
yeah, I think.
All right.
Down for that.
AC takes you towards the docks area. There's a huge river that flows along beside the city. You see lots of boats, most of them sailboats, though a few of them are actually steamships that come rolling down the river. Sorry. And they're pulling up the docks. You get at the end of one of the docks near one of the warehouse, and you're going to try and open a exit for the Never. Give me a roll. It's an evocation roll.
Please roll
Discipline.
well this time. I
That's
should
not bad.
talk to it. It's a 4.
All right. You reach out. You kind of,
It's a fun.
make your gestures.
I got a -1.
Yeah.
I didn't see the mics.
Hmm.
I was so blanks.
Yeah. And you're able to kind of cut your way through the Never Never, and you realize that you are in the warehouse area. You're not sure how far from Volt's warehouse, but it's definitely near enough that you recognize some of the buildings. So you're going to step through?
Yeah.
Okay. You step through. You're standing on a street where you see a lot of these rusty warehouses around. A couple of warehouses are actually occupied. You can hear what sounds like things being moved around. Maybe cranes are running, forklifts, things along those lines. You think you could probably... Who has... let me see... Who has streetwise? No.
I have driving.
Have rapport.
Give me a driving check. Anyone who wants to try and find out how far you are from Volt Warehouse.
I have scholarship.
I'm at 4.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you're only about 4 or 5 blocks from his warehouse.
Nice.
All right, so you start heading that direction, right?
Yeah.
You gonna walk or catch a bus or whatever? Do you
We're
want-
not that.
We're not
Do you
4 or 5 blocks. That's not
yeah,
much.
it's not that far. Yeah. So we begin walking. All right. So you've been knocking around your apartment not your apartment, your warehouse for a while, Volt, and you decide around 10 o'clock you're going to send out a text.
I was gonna call.
Oh.
Miranda.
Okay. Yeah, you just stepped out of the Never Never, and all of a sudden your phone goes zzz, zzz, zzz. It looks like it's Volt.
Hello.
Hey, how'd the tracking of old Cheeky Babe go?
We got her.
Good.
We're
Well, that's
actually
normal.
close.
Yeah,
Are you
sure.
home?
Yeah, I been kicking around for a little bit now.
Okay. We're gonna be there in just like we're a few blocks away.
Y'all need to ride?
If you want to meet us, we're southwest.
Yeah.
We're
It's kinda
the
vague.
directional. We're
Yeah,
down
you
on
can actually
Backdrop
actually you
Street.
can see what.
street name?
Yeah, you got street
From
names. Yeah,
Backdrop Street.
sure.
I'll
You know,
be there in a bit.
all right, you head out to pick them up. Yeah. It takes you about 15 minutes to get there. Sure enough, they're walking down the sidewalk. They've got this girl. You're not sure who she is. She's wearing black jeans and a really nice purple blouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a sword on her head.
With a sword on her hip.
I'm gonna roll the window down and go,
Cosplay.
My face is like melted on half the side.
oh yeah, you're
and,
still
like,
burning it
Yeah,
down
she
there.
looks pretty bad. Yeah.
The van blow up?
Yes, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
We're not sure where the van is at this moment.
No, that's not good.
We just came from an alternate dimension where we were hiding out from some demons.
And you
How was
stole a
your night?
princess?
You stole a princess. yeah.
Basically.
She's in the other castle.
This is Hera, remember from...
I don't think he ever met Hera.
Oh, he wasn't in the place when we rescued her?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you do recognize Hera. I'm sorry. Yeah, you are correct. You recognize this is Hera.
She
Yeah.
looks
She looks
A
different.
little different.
Yeah.
quite a bit differently.
Yeah.
Full Caesar, the demon child.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
about
right. I
right.
could
Yeah.
tackle her and rip her in half.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was one of your thoughts. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I
I put on
I-
my tinfoil hat real quick.
show him the picture that we took, and then I ran around like, we went to another dimension. It was pretty dope, honestly.
Damn. You mean I could have been a dragon in a medieval town?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
probably
sure
nobody
you
would've
had a
cared
really
either.
good time as well, though.
Bunk and Swift look like they were actually at a Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Nice.
Give
Ooh,
me
you
a
should've seen
scholarship check or a lore check.
Did
Either
we get a
one.
picture? Did you get a picture of Bunk?
Huh? We were all. It's a
Oh, that's
selfie.
right. We did
Dude.
a selfie.
Group selfie. Like, hey, this is what he looks like under his glamour.
Yeah, yeah, you noticed
You
this.
look badass.
Yeah, he does look pretty badass. So does
I
Swift.
give you a Swift
It's
a
like
fist bump.
a full
Yeah, he looks
on
normal now.
Robin
Yeah,
Hood and Little John over there.
You're looking through the pictures of the different things that they've shown you, and you flip across one of the pages, and you notice that there's a picture of a spear.
Oh, from the book?
Yeah, from the book. I think you missed that.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a spear. Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
It looks a lot like the spear she's carrying. You think you missed that?
I said, man, that's a cool spear.
It's a lot of spears, you know. He's got a spear.
He's
I
got a spear. You got a spear. Everybody's
Yeah.
got a spear. What's going on right here? Blue's got a spear. Yeah,
Oh, he does,
it's
yeah.
not a thing. Yeah.
Magical spear.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it looks like actually her spear. Yeah, because the blade on her spear is very distinctive. Yeah. Mm. It
Yeah.
looks like the spear of destiny.
Yeah, there was a library, and everything was kind of like lined up with how New Orleans was. It was
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Have to go back there sometime.
You gonna let her know that you see the spear?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I said, oh, that's a cool spear. And I point to the
Looks like your spear.
Didn't notice that before.
Yeah, well, there's kind of a drawing of your spear, which it looks like,
Mhm.
and there's a bunch of notations in the margin. You're not sure you recognize the language?
Okay. Anybody recognize this language?
Give me a lore check.
Y'all make another one?
No. 5. It's Latin. You recognize it. You kind of speak a smattering of Latin, so you recognize it immediately. You can't tell what it says. Yeah, you speak a smattering of Latin as well, and so you kind of look at it, and it looks like there's also a drawing, but it's partially burned off, of a sword. Actually, there's 3 swords. And so it's partially burned off. You can't really see what it says, but the bottom of it says, the swords of the Jewish Christ are for the redemption of the lost. Okay. And then written across the top of the spear, it says, the spear of destiny seeks no redemption. It only seeks war.
This is this.
Oh. That's interesting.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Based on some things that have happened.
Mhm.
Okay, so can I determine based on this if this is useful in some way, or there's some way that I'm not accessing it? Not really? Okay,
No, sorry.
gotcha.
Yeah. You guys have gotten back to the warehouse probably at this point. Yes.
I need somebody to make a phone call for me.
Okay. Who are you calling?
I need you to call Lucky Charms. What's his name again?
Oh, no, you have to, Jody. You have to do that with your chalice that you put water into, but not coffee because it makes the picture jittery.
Nothing.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's probably looking for you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I really need to let them know that I'm alive.
Do you want to swing by your place and get the chalice? Okay. So she asks to go be brought by her place over by Frenchman Street, which is a little out of the way, but hey. You know.
Alright.
Sure. So you head down by her place. You get to her house. You disarm your wards, step inside. The chalice is there on the table. You probably keep it out. You fill it full of water and do the spell to contact him. As you begin swirling the water, immediately kind of splashes up and goes down. And then you see Della!
Hey! Just letting you know that I am okay after all.
Yes. Wait, what? So you broke your... Wait, we got a notification from the Never Never that you were in danger.
Yes, we were.
Probably still alive, to be honest.
Yeah, we were being stalked by one of the Denarians.
Which one?
Yeah. Nicodemus.
And his eyes get kind of big because you can kind of see his reflection in the pool. And he says, "Oh, the Denarian." Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, we crashed the van. But I opened his portal to Never Never.
Wait, the van? What van are you talking about?
Our van. You haven't seen it, but
It's really cool.
We went to the.
Is that the one with the paintings on the side?
Oh yeah, you have. When did you see it? Are you stalking me?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, so what happened with the van?
Anyway, so. It's left somewhere in New Orleans, and I opened a place into the Never Never, and
escaped.
Anyway, we escaped. We regrouped. We're back. I just want you to know I'm alive.
So Nicodemus is in
He's
New
somewhere
Orleans.
in New Orleans.
Are any other Denarians with him?
Oh, just a couple.
There were 2. There was one that looked like stars. Her body was made all of stars, and the other one was on fire.
Yeah.
And
fire bitch.
And
Fire bitch.
Nicodemus killed Sidney St. Clair.
Oh.
Beheaded him.
The Devonay, wow. He says, that's a bit of a interesting... He says, okay, so the fiery woman, she could actually throw flames out, right?
Yes.
That sounds like Lashiel.
That sounds right.
And then the one who is made of stars, that sounds like Varthiel.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Right. Okay.
Do they have anything on them?
No.
Great.
I think one of them has fire on them.
Yeah.
The other one has like
Yeah.
stars
Right.
on them.
That's all I've got.
So,
Alrighty, well, so I'm still kicking and alive. I don't have that pin anymore, but
I'll get you another one.
at the moment, it looked like it might be dicey, so.
Right. I'll get you another one. That's not a problem.
It still is dicey.
Are you
but
still at the same place?
I'm currently at my home, but yes, we're
Right.
back in New Orleans.
Okay. Then I will make sure to send someone with a new pin for you so we can keep track of whether you're in danger or not. All right. Well, good. Thank you for letting me know that you're okay. I'm not sure that the White Council will be able to do anything with the Denarians, but I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
All right. And then it goes out.
Man, y'all should have called me.
Well,
3 denarian?
yeah.
we didn't have time.
You-
it was very time.
You were very excited about your date. Didn't wanna-
We didn't want
you
to
know.
bother you.
Oh, it's y'all. Okay, all right.
Didn't really have time either.
You know, when it all started, it was just a low key B&E.
Honestly,
And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, we were like going to die, and so we didn't have time to say, "Hey, Volt."
It's kind of like when you guys were at Geotronics and we're going to scout out the area. And it was going to be a low key scouting out the area. And
how many times have we
things
failed to
went
just have a low key
pear
being?
shaped.
I don't
Yeah.
think we know what that is.
So what I'm hearing is just charge in guns blazing next time.
Might not be.
If
If we
same,
do
he's doing
that,
the same thing,
if that's
expecting
the
different
plan,
results.
if that's the
What
plan
kind of
going into it, we
inventory, yeah.
might actually do something right for once.
Right?
We might
We actually
accidentally
sneak
do the
in,
opposite.
Yeah, actually sneak in.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I'm glad y'all survived.
we have
What is
a
we
word?
are too. It was a
couple
little
of
dicey.
things.
And then we were worried that something happened to you while we were gone.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
great things.
Something happened. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Get some information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of information.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, really good
What kind
information.
of information?
The great kind.
Okay. Like, just personal for you information?
Oh
or
no,
like
yeah,
share with
you know,
the group?
got some stuff about scabies and their whereabouts and
Oh, nice.
flavors and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Not to be
Probably
confused with
just a-
scabies, which is
Yeah.
really yucky.
I don't know
Was-
anything about scabies.
That's right.
Was he with us whenever we went to the Lalaurie mansion, or did you had already peeled off
No,
at that
he'd already
point?
peeled off.
No, I think he went with you guys.
We don't.
When you
we
went to find out if Gabriel
Found
Beaumont
that
had been
Gabriel
attacked.
Beaumont was
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
Were you
I believe
with
he was
us?
there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I rolled up with 2 other people.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know that we suspect Deacon
Deacon
Fontaine.
Fontaine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that we suspect the church and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
So I want to kind of lay a trap for him. I think that's maybe
Yeah.
the next step, but we gotta kind of do some sort of regrouping and plan because we got our asses handed to us.
Hmm.
So, what's the next step?
What is the next step?
Deacon Fontblood?
I mean, that's the most direct line
Do
we have
we
right now.
know where Gabriel is?
No,
We don't.
We
not
still
yet.
don't know.
gonna
He's still
try-
on the lam.
I'm gonna try
Okay.
calling him again. I left his phone back at his house in case he came back. Just
Go
gonna see
straight
what
to
happens.
voicemail. Straight to voicemail.
Do we
Yeah.
want to call the police department and see if possibly a van with lots of pictures was impounded recently?
It's
Yeah,
only been probably an evening. I mean,
But it's kind of
Yeah,
like in the
we
middle
wrecked
of the
it
road,
into another
smack
car.
into another
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
So I'm thinking
it probably
that would
was-
send up some signals to somebody.
You could also, have the police say, "Oh, there's been a terrible wreck." That way, if we go retrieve it, it's not a trap. We just go find it at the police station.
true.
Ah.
So you want to
Let them
call
impound
Brian
it.
Johnson to see if he knows
So we
anything
don't
about it?
Ambushed.
Yeah.
You know?
Alright.
Retrieve it from the police station instead of the scene is actually better for us.
You call Brian
He's
Johnson.
captain, correct?
Call Captain Johnson. Get his secretary. Secretary
Oh, no.
says, Brian Johnson's office. What can I do for you?
Hi, this is Della Fontenot. I was just wondering if I could talk to
Captain Johnson.
thank you, Captain Johnson, about an accident.
Give me a minute. Let me see if he's busy.
Okay.
A couple minutes go by. I'll put you through to Captain Johnson.
All right.
Click. Phone picks up. Hello, Captain Johnson. What can I do for you?
Hi, this is Della Fontenot.
Della, how are you?
I'm I'm good now, but we had a bit of an accident.
Hmm.
We were being attacked by a very vicious, really old creature, and we ran into a car.
Troll?
No, Nicodemus. You know the biblical Nicodemus who has a spear that can destroy people and
Doesn't
things.
have a spear. What are you
She's got
talking
that.
about?
What's
Never
got the
mind.
spirit for?
What are you even
Didn't he
talking
used to
about?
have it?
No.
Anyway, Nicodemus, he's evil.
He carries a sword. Go back to sleep. Anyway, so
Why did they get the spear?
he has no
He has a
spear.
spear.
She
I
has a
got it.
spear.
The book has
You are
spear.
making
The book had the
stuff
spear.
up.
Is this a write
The
your own
book-
adventure game?
I think that I don't know. Right?
Well, then what does the book have? Why does the book have a spear if it was about Nicodemus?
Your phone fritzes out because you're just making stories up.
Fine.
I'll call him back.
Okay, you called
Yeah.
Brian Johnson's office.
Hey, is this the secretary?
Yes.
I'm like, hey, we got disconnected from Captain Johnson. Can you
Oh,
come
right.
in?
I'll put you right through. Hi. He picks up Brian Johnson.
Hey, this is Miranda. Della killed her phone.
Oh, yes. Wizards have that tendency to do
Look.
to their phones.
Long story short, probably safer for you if you don't know. We had a car, a van with a really amazing paint job. Get into an accident last night. Has that been picked up by your guys or impounded?
Let me check and see. Give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
He put you on hold. A few minutes goes by.
We do have a van or two, but I'm not seeing the awesome paint job that you're talking about.
Oh no.
Oh, it'd be so-
Actually, a few minutes goes by, comes back on, and he says, yeah, there's a van that was listed as abandoned over in the Garden District. We haven't moved it yet. We just tagged it with the orange sticker to make sure that people knew it was abandoned and needed to be picked up. I don't think anything's been filed on it either, so if you ran in an accident, no one's reported it.
That's because we disappeared into another dimension right after getting into the accident. But
Interesting. Interesting.
do we want to just go pick it up, or do we think that's not safe?
That's not safe.
Hey, just let your guys get it, or whoever,
Okay.
and we'll get it from them.
Okay, so I'll send a tow truck, and they'll bring it to the impound yard. Let them know that you're here to pick up your van, and we'll carry it. We'll take it from there. Okay.
Okay.
Give it probably till maybe 2 in the afternoon to get actually put into the impound yard. It'll take a few hours to get it picked up, hauled over there and processed. But yeah, check in about 2, maybe in about 4 hours, and I'll let you know where it is.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Any idea? Should I look for anything on the van? Anything in particular that I should be concerned about?
Well, we were being. Just tell whoever picks it up to be on the lookout for someone following them. If they don't feel safe about it, yeah, they can fly. I don't know how much you want to tell them, but
Okay. I'll send some guys who are kind of in the know then to make sure that they're careful. Got it. Sure. All right. And he hangs up.
so that's that. Yeah.
Okay.
We go talk to old Deacon Boy.
Do we want to trap them?
I think we need to come up with a plan to trap him. As of right now,
Mhm.
I don't think he knows that we're onto him. Last time I spoke to him, I
think you told him about Gabriel Beaumont.
I told
last
him-
time, yeah.
Gabriel Beaumont was missing, and I asked him if he knew where he was. He said he'd seen him earlier, which is what made me suspicious.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he picked up on the fact that I was suspicious.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, sure.
as of right now, we can assume we have the element of surprise, but we shouldn't bank on it.
You want to go to the St. Louis Cathedral? That's normally where he is, being a deacon. Do you want to go check him out there?
So do we want to do something like call him up and give him information, say that we found
Hera?
Hera, and then that we've got her at blah blah blah, and see what happens?
Maybe not say that we found her, but we have information about where she is.
Okay.
Yeah, because we said we found her, he might ante up
Here's
with
the
the Denarians.
If we don't say
That's-
that we
yeah.
found her, he'll know it's a trap because if he's working with him, then he knows that we found her.
Yeah, I'm saying.
that's
We
true.
have to
Okay,
make him
yeah.
think we trust
But,
him.
but if we tell them he's going to send the Narians there, so are we
I
ready
see.
to fight
We're
them?
not going to. Yeah, we're not going to send them to where she actually is.
Yeah.
We're just going to.
Well, we should meet
We'll
on
say
holy
that
ground somewhere.
We've got her at the Superdome, and then and so they come to the Superdome, and then we'll or
But the
wherever.
hologram
We should
thing
meet
is a
them.
good
We should
idea.
meet them on holy ground somewhere, right?
Yeah, then we
Sure, that's
use
got
the
something
Saints
against
to our
the-
advantage when we.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, the Superdome is practically holy ground.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's
The
it.
Saints,
definitely is.
the Saints go marching in there every Sunday.
That's right.
You guys can go there and think it's holy ground. I do not trust it.
I mean,
What?
the
Uh-huh.
cemetery right
That's
next
pretty much
to
heresy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
church is
I do 5 Hail Marys in the
consecrated.
field, and we're good.
My only thing about that though is that we're talking about someone who routinely every 400 or 500 years breaks into the Vatican to.
Yeah, I it doesn't sound like he's got too much of a problem walking onto consecrated ground. So we just got to give ourselves the best.
It still might weaken him a little bit.
It would.
It might cause like a lot of power surge to break in, so we might have a standing chance.
Well, realize that anytime he has to come into anywhere he's not been invited, it's going to lessen his power. Now,
And I can,
you know, if your power is over 3,000 and you're lessening your power by 10%, you're still 2,000, which still makes you pretty, tough. But again, it all depends on where he's trying to get into. Like St. Louis Cathedral, he ain't going in there. It's just too holy for him, and the threshold is ridiculous. So again, you would think that the Denarians could probably not go into somewhere like the St. Louis Cathedral. Other churches, you're not sure.
well, St. Louis Cathedral is probably a good place to corner Fontainebleau at the very least. But yeah, I guess the question is, are we ready to go another round with those guys right now?
Yeah.
Because you got your
We do
bolt.
have our
Yeah.
dragon.
I didn't get to throw any hands.
Yeah.
Well, we did, I guess, get to rest in the Never Never, so we should have. I mean, like my sword should have its charges back,
Right.
and
Right.
I just think we
if
should.
yours has
Well, but
charges.
okay, but your sword is per session, so you're kind
Oh,
of
never mind.
yeah.
It's still used up. Forget
Yeah.
it.
I have nothing that makes me special right now.
No, you have the spear.
I have the spear,
We're all special around
but
here.
That's right.
I have no
And you have some
points
other
to
abilities that
activate
go
some
with
of the
that too,
abilities.
so don't forget. Yeah.
I think we just need
So,
to
yeah.
figure out where if we're going to have this fight. We want to have it on our terms and on our
Right.
ground. It's someplace that we pick out instead of breaking into the place and going in.
Yeah.
Just
Right,
so we
right,
got
right.
a little bit more of a chance.
Can we get like blessed bullets again or blessed weapons again?
Yeah, Deacon Fontainebleau was our hookup for that. So, I mean, well, there's that rec center that Gabriel Beaumont's involved with that was a church.
Isn't that where the attack happened?
That's where you got your spear.
Yeah, that's where they had a reliquary there, and that's where I got my spear. There was an attack there, but it was by like a henchman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we
Did you
know?
ordain
human
her?
henchman.
Can you bless waters?
I mean, I am a licensed minister, but
Hey, here
Uh,
we go.
I don't know. Can I?
I don't even try.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. Do you want to bless water and stuff like that? Let's see. Let's make a conviction check.
Okay.
Because that's supposed to be acts of
Pretty
faith.
good.
Ooh, that's
So it's even, so it's a 6.
Yeah, you're thinking you could.
Okay. Yeah.
I
I mean,
make holy water. Sure.
all right.
You're not sure you could bless bullets, but you could.
Yeah.
You're not sure you could bless bullets, but you're not sure you couldn't either. You're just not sure. You've never tried it before. But you can definitely make holy water or holy oil or stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
The book didn't have anything in it that said any kind of weaknesses for the.
No, not that you saw. It just kind of explained. I mean, the big thing it told you about that Nicodemus Archeleon was mentioned in the Bible. And that's about it.
Could it have something to do with like the joining of the 3 swords? Like make him atone for his evilness? Maybe.
You don't know.
Well, one of the swords is dead.
Well, no.
No, that was the 4th sister
Probably-
sword.
Oh,
Right?
that's right.
The
I
sister
forgot
sword
that was the
for
sister sword.
Tisania's sword is.
Do I know anything about where I would find other people who have Swords of the Cross?
Would I know that?
Give me a lore check real quick.
I was gonna say, you might
Would I
also-
know that as a no? Okay.
Let's even.
It's just a 1.
You're pretty sure that when the wielders of the swords of the cross need to be somewhere, the Lord works in mysterious ways to make sure that they're there. They're not in New Orleans, as far as you know. You know that currently the only sword of the cross that is being wielded is. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's 2 of them. You know that Sonya is wielding the sister to your sword, and that Michael Carpenter is wielding essentially Excalibur.
Okay.
That one of the swords is in Chicago in the safekeeping of some wizard up there, but nobody's wielding it yet.
Got it. Okay. Well. Yeah. So, I guess we should
Set a trap.
set a trap.
What are you thinking of?
Well, his turf or ours. That's our options.
Are you trying to trap Deacon Fontainebleau or
Fontainebleau
what?
for now, because
Well, I figured like we call Fontainebleau and say we've got Hera, and so we need some help, and he'll ask where do you have her, and we'll say wherever we have it, and so what he'll do is tell the Black and Denarians, and
That's
then
what I was
they'll
gonna
come
say.
after us, and then
right.
that would be how I would perceive that would happen.
We could just
Did
take her
we-
to the St. Louis Cathedral and say, "Hey, we're here."
Yeah, we could just not
Yeah,
give
we
him a
could
heads
just do
up and
that,
just
yeah.
show up.
Show up, but that
Um,
doesn't, but we're trying to make sure that he's actually the
Mhm.
Right.
bad seed.
So you want him to bring the Denarian so we know that he's actually bad?
We're just, we're just
Then
there's
he's
more
gonna come
information.
either way. I
It's,
think.
it's either he goes okay and comes up with something, or we get attacked. And that's if we don't get attacked, then we know probably he's not the guy that
He's not the informant.
right.
I'm gonna look at Hera and say, Hera, do you want me to leave you with somebody safe, or do you want to come with us?
Well, who
I
could?
don't want her to try and chase after us.
Right.
If we leave
She
her
says, well,
behind.
who should I be left with that's safe?
I was thinking maybe I could leave you with Captain Johnson in the police department.
She says, if you
No.
trust him to take care of me, I guess.
I think he's a good guy. I just don't think he's
Yeah.
equipped to
I
protect
don't-
her from what's
Okay, so
coming.
who do we know?
They got mollywopped
Who do
by
we
the
know that we can
frickin'
trust?
Literal only person I would trust right now
half-ass
is missing.
cultist.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, who else is there to?
Well, why not
I
Lucky
just
Charm
hate to
Boy?
take her into.
Can we not store her
But
at
Lucky
the?
Charms is far away.
Oh, where's the main? I don't know where the main base is.
Ireland. Yeah, which you'd have to go through the Never Never to get there.
I'm not
That's
keen
what it is,
to take her into a fight, but if the Denarians can't get into the church, then we're only dealing with Fontainebleau when we go there.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess I'll ask her, Hera. What do you think? Choice is yours.
I don't know. I mean, she's 12, remember? So she
No,
says,
I know.
I don't want them to do what they did to me before.
Understandable.
We could also let Johnson know where we set the trap.
Mrs.
Oh, Brown.
Mrs. Brown.
Yeah.
Do we
Should
want
be
her
safe in
blood
the
on our
Audubon
hands?
Would she be in?
Could
Would
let
she be in safe in the Autumn Night's home?
It could.
Possibly.
Has a
Possibly.
pretty good
I mean-
threshold, I would think.
Probably, yeah.
I could. Well, not today, but tomorrow I could set up a stronger threshold for it.
In the realm of the
Yeah.
Autumn King or whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say that might not be a bad place.
Could put.
With the king.
You want to run her over to Mrs. Brown's brownstone?
Yeah.
I love that. All right.
This is Brown.
Do you
I
know
think if
any?
we spend a bunch of time prepping for her to do that, then we're gonna lose it.
All right. So you head over to the Audubon Park and head to the brownstone. As you get out of the car, Mrs. Brown comes down the steps and she says, "Oh, are you staying for the evening? It's only about 2:00 in the afternoon.
Well, Hera is. This is Hera.
Hera?
Hera? This is Mrs.
Oh,
Brown.
nice to meet you, Hera. What did you need me to do?
She's going to be staying here for a little bit, so just kind of,
Oh, should I make up a room?
please.
Oh, okay.
And-
Well, come with me, that little one. I'll show you to your room. And she puts her arm around Hera, and Hera starts chatting with her. And she says, "I'll get you some cookies and some lemonade." And Hera says, "Oh, that sounds good." And they go heading up the stairs and inside the front door and blah blah blah.
Can Hera use phones?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's not very strong. She's really good at manipulation of energy, which means she could probably actually keep a phone running pretty well because she can keep the mystical energies from
Maybe we
infecting.
should leave her a burner.
A
Just
burner?
in case she needs to call
A burner.
I don't have one. Anybody have a burner?
We can get one.
Yeah, you probably get one from Walmart.
Does Mrs.
Crack
Brown
phone.
have a phone?
Or a gas station
Miss
somewhere.
Brown is a landline.
Yeah, but those can be cut.
Mm.
Do we have anyone else who could stay here as extra security?
Swift could stay. He
Is
really
he
doesn't want to leave
gonna?
you, but he could.
I can just leave her my phone,
Okay.
and then if she gets into trouble, she can call you or you or
Okay.
you or you. Well, maybe not you, but
I just want.
Grandma, I'm kind of
Yeah, your phone's dead, so yeah.
What about the dwarves?
You'd have to find them in the park, and you could do that. You could get a couple of the dwarf.
I think
photos.
you know
You
us
could
splitting
probably
the
just
party
find
again.
the
Probably isn't
extension
great.
cord that they have running to the AC. Or
Yeah.
Follow the
Right.
Not
extension.
wrong. Not wrong.
I could see them actually being so concerned about the AC they would not pay attention.
Now, that being said, Swift is willing to stay with Hera to protect her if you command him to, but he's just not going to do it unless you tell him to.
Yeah, I think I think we need more as much firepower.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to lessen our power.
Right. So
Yeah.
you could probably go over and get some of the autumn people to protect her. You could probably do that. All right. So you head over into the park, walk around Lou's tree 3 times Widdershins, and the Autumn King shows up, and you are going to tell him what?
Tell them everything, just what we're into, and that apparently they're after this girl. We need to keep her safe, and we're going to try to take care of this.
He looks at me and he says, "This seems like an internal matter for the church, then."
But they're attacking us.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And he kind of says, the Christians have always been difficult when it comes to deal with the Fae. I understand what you're saying.
no.
Okay, well, look, I can send some of the Fae Knights over there to kind of watch out for if you'd like. I can do that. I can spare 3 or 4 of them to kind of make sure that nothing happens to her. All right, I'll do that. And so he says, okay. And so he says, you notice he rounds up 3 or 4 of the guys who are around the park. They look like just people who are just kind of running in the park. But you're able to tell that they're much more than that. They're actually guys who have the Fey armor and the Fey swords and the shields. And they head towards the brownstone. Kind of ethereally beautiful young men and women once you see through the glamours that they're using to appear normal. And so they head over towards the brownstone. There's 4 of them, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, now we just got to come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He either is onto us or he's not.
Mm-hmm.
We can try to announce ourselves or come up with some elaborate plan to lure him out, or we could just go right where we know he's at.
There you go.
Or it's less likely the Denarians can get to us. And I hope I'm not wrong about this, but I also wish I was. I don't know how we're gonna get the truth out of him is the thing.
Well, I've got
Yeah.
some
I was gonna
suggestions.
say it can't be me who does that.
When you twist his head around backwards, he'll either tell you the truth or die. So, So,
that's your call. Like I said, this is weird. I'm just protecting my butt and everybody else. So this is important to you. So we need to.
Okay.
Can you make some truth serum?
I was just wondering about that.
give me a
We can
lore
really-
check.
We just get really drunk and talkative.
Man of the cloth.
Oh, he drinks.
You should see our priest.
He
Fair
drinks.
enough. I got a +6.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that you could make some truth serum. It might take you around an hour or so to, kind of get it all squared away. You would definitely want to do it at your place.
Yeah.
Where you have the equipment to do it. But yeah, you're pretty sure you could make some truth serum.
Now that being said, a little while ago you said it was around 2:30 or so.
In the
We've
afternoon.
already been doing a few things, moving around. Went to Miss Brown's place, and around what time? What is it now?
It's still probably only about 3:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure that we weren't getting too late,
Yeah, late.
to the evening.
Yeah, I gotcha.
If we're trying to still do this today.
No, my goody wets are attacking me.
So do we need to stop?
I think it's the grilled cheese sandwich from the bowling alley.
Could be. All right. So we'll stop there for the night with you planning to go after Deacon Fontainebleau, possibly with Truth Serum,
Yep.
and Hera currently staying
Oh,
at Miss
smart.
Brown's Brownstone. So we'll stop there. Cool. All right. Next game, you will definitely have all of your fate points
Yes.
back because we will be kind of in a new session.